What's up, Thrive? Pastor Mark here, just checking in. I hope everyone is doing well. And I want to just give you a quick word of encouragement before you jump into small groups to talk about the weekend sermon. It's been a long several weeks of being on this home lockdown. There's been a ton of Zoom meetings and phone calls and text messages and all sorts of virtual communication and a painful absence of in-person, face-to-face meeting, and I want to encourage you to press on. It's not going to be like this forever. In fact, I think we're getting very close to having some of these restrictions lifted. And even if the restrictions aren't lifted, and even if circumstances don't change, the encouragement to press on still stands. The encouragement for you as a Christian to press on, to set your sights on becoming more like Christ, growing in your love for the Lord, growing in your conformity to the Lord, is a really good thing. And so I want to encourage you to do that. Think about what God has taught you through this process of home quarantine. Think about what He's teaching you now, being on home lockdown. I want to encourage you to press on, to seek first the kingdom of the Lord, and to not get bogged down and frustrated, overly frustrated with what's happening here. Learn what you can before the circumstances change. Learn what you can before this time of home lockdown is over. Chances are very high that the quarantine has shown you something that you need to deal with in your heart, in your mind, something that maybe is between you and the Lord. Maybe your personal time with God has dropped off during this home quarantine. Maybe your kindness toward your spouse has disappeared or diminished. Maybe your patience toward your kids is just absent or very short-fused. There are issues that are going on in your heart, and these challenging circumstances have pushed those things to the surface, and you're probably seeing their ugly heads. So deal with those before the circumstances change and before the temptations go away. Deal with the heart issues that God has shown you during this time. So with that in mind, I just think it could be a great way to kick off your small groups by talking about the biggest thing that God has taught you during this quarantine. What has the Lord been teaching you during this time? Let's think about that, identify that now before circumstances change and we get back into more of a normal routine. So maximize the time that you've had by spending some time reflecting on what God's taught you, and talk about that in your groups. And I will see you, hopefully in person, very soon.